So I have a confession to make. I love sharks. Welcome back, Nerd Squad. Today I'm super excited to be diving into the story, origins, and all-around fierce, man-eating yet cuddly personality that belongs to King Shark. Sometimes cuddly, at least. Don't be afraid to dive in with me as we count down the top 10 King Shark facts you need to know. The water is fine. And I promise neither myself nor King Shark will bite. Well, at least I promise that I won't bite. Time to dive deep with this villainous and beast-like yet sometimes misunderstood character, and get counting. Number 10. Secret Six. While many may know that King Shark is a regular member of the Suicide Squad team, he has also appeared as a member of another supervillain team in the comics, the Secret Six. Secret Six is a team created by Gail Simone and Dale Eaglesham, who were initially 6 villains brought together by a mastermind going by the codename Mockingbird, who turned out to be Lex Luthor this time around. King Shark wasn't part of this initial roster, but would later join during a supervillain civil war, which divided the Secret Six into 2 teams. He was a temporary member who ended up being recruited at this time along with Giganta, Lady Vic, and Dwarfstar. Number 9. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. King Shark hasn't appeared in as many games as some of his fellow Suicide Squad members, but he is finally going to be appearing in a big upcoming title soon as a playable character. King Shark will be appearing in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, where he'll be voiced by wrestler Samoa Joe. We don't know a ton about the game yet, as we have only gotten one trailer for this game thus far. So far though, based on that trailer, it looks like the game will be a ton of fun and highlight different playstyles and feature different character-specific special moves for each playable character, King Shark included. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is expected to release for Windows, PS, and Xbox sometime in 2022. And friends, before we move on to the next spot, if you are enjoying this list and you want more like it, maybe perhaps a King Shark Facts Part 2, please click like, share, and comment below and let us know what you think. I really want to wear my shark hoodie when I do the next one. I meant to wear it today and then I forgot, so please do that. Number 8. The Flash. King Shark has become such a popular character that he's even managed to pose a serious threat to even well-established and powerful heroes in the CW-verse, such as Barry Allen's The Flash. King Shark appears in CW's Flash series in Season 2. He initially was working with Zoom, but ended up being defeated. However, even after his failed attempt to kill the Flash in Episode 4, he would later return in Episode 15 once more to finish his mission for Zoom and kill the Flash in exchange for being returned to his home. Just wanted to go home. Even there, he's slightly misunderstood. Okay, he was a huge villain, but still, I like King Shark, so I'm gonna say he's always misunderstood. However, King Shark would later learn from Barry that returning home would no longer be possible. King Shark's appearance in the Flash series was also his live-action debut, if you can believe it. Here he was portrayed by Dan Payne and voiced by David Hayter as King Shark. Number 7. His brother. In the Harley Quinn animated series, King Shark is a member of Harley's villainous crew, but is typically depicted as being quite tame, sweet, and even a tech genius and master hacker. However, later on we learn all about the more ferocious side of him, which he is constantly trying to escape. It's even revealed that when he was younger, he was much more of a brute, and had a younger brother who he loved to pick on and give a hard time. One day while roughhousing, his little brother became injured and began to bleed underwater. This sent King Shark into a feeding frenzy and caused him to devour his little brother, which inspired him to change his ways, working to become less of a brute and more of an intellectual moving forward. In the Harley Quinn animated series, King Shark is voiced by Ron Funches. Number 6. Superboy. King Shark initially made his first appearance in Superboy issue number 0 in 1994, where he appeared as an antagonist. He makes his first appearance at the end of the issue and is only shown by his rows of smiling teeth, which drip with the blood of his first on-panel victim. Here, King Shark appeared ruthless. Wait, what was I saying? Yeah. Here, King Shark appeared ruthless and immensely dastardly, even attacking the people who had freed him, devouring them. Even from his first comic appearance, it was established that King Shark was a cannibalistic man-eater, someone to watch out for. Something that Superboy would evidently have to watch out for moving forward. Number 5. Which shark is this shark? While in films and television appearances, as well as his original appearance in the comics, King Shark was made to resemble more of a great white shark in terms of his design, capitalizing on the horror inspired by films like the classic Jaws or later on 1999's Deep Blue Sea. When he was reintroduced in the Prime Earth continuity, his character design was changed. Instead of resembling a great white, he was now made to look more like a vicious hammerhead shark. While great whites are widely acknowledged as sort of the king of ferocious sharks, the one we all initially think of as well when someone says the word shark, DC decided to change up the design and go with the less powerful and less massive predator, but one that is still equally important in terms of maintaining the balance of our ecosystem, the hammerhead shark. Hammerheads are smaller sharks in terms of length and weight in comparison to great whites, and they eat a more specific diet, typically preferring to mainly eat stingrays, whereas great whites feed on bigger prey and are also known for eating, well, just about anything, including other sharks. Number 4. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. When it comes to the two different designs for the character, James Gunn actually had to figure out which design he wanted to go with for his own Suicide Squad film, fun fact, which features King Shark. Initially, he expected that the hammerhead look would be what he wanted, as he expressed on Twitter that he actually loved that design and that look. However, the hammerhead design meant that King Shark's eyes were actually too far apart, which made him look kinda awkward in scenes, and not really in a good way. More in a way where you didn't really know who he was talking to, and the shots actually had to be wider to accommodate for his eye placement. Because of this, James Gunn decided to opt for the great white look and went on to insist for the design that they go with more of the dad bod take on his physique over the more muscle man look. Both of which of these have appeared in the comics, by the way. King Shark will be voiced by Sylvester Stallone in the new film, set to debut this summer, and I am so ready for both King Shark and James Gunn's take on the Suicide Squad team. Let's go! Number 3. The Wildlands. One of the speculated origins for King Shark based off of a Superboy comic is that he's one of the wild men, or furries, who actually come from the Wildlands. And yes, the other name for a wild man is actually a furry. I am not joking about that, that's a thing. The furries were created as a result of experimentation in the Wildlands, where as a part of Project Moreau, the precursor to Project Cadmus, animals were evolved into becoming more human-like, sentient or conscious beings. They learned how to speak English and even developed their own culture and socio-political hierarchy. However, this doesn't tend to be the origins the DC Comics returns to when it comes to King Shark's character, instead choosing a more mythical, less science-based origins for the character. Number 2. Demigod. King Shark's origins might not be what you would expect from such a villain actually, especially considering how violent King Shark can be and how he's often depicted as being monstrous. You might think that his origins should involve him being somehow transformed into a part man, part shark, but he's actually oceanic royalty, being the son of the shark god known as Kamo. Being part god by his heritage basically makes him a demigod. In the Harley Quinn animated series, we even learn of King Shark's great influence and power when we discover in season 2 that he is a prince of the Shark Men Kingdom and is next in line to inherit the throne after his father. Number 1. His mother. While King Shark's dad is definitely interesting, we'd also learn that King Shark, or Nanoa as he's also known, was born of a human woman who had mated with the shark god to conceive her son. In Superboy, when he's locked up, we later learned that King Shark was imprisoned because he was believed responsible for the deaths of many others, which his mother assisted in. King Shark of course eats people, so this is kinda what's implied here. We later learned that his mother loved her son King Shark so much that she even offered her own flesh to him, sacrificing her arm to feed him. So while much of his power and influence comes from his dad, I don't think King Shark would even really be alive if not for his mom. Also, you know what's weird? His mom doesn't have a name, I don't think, in the comics. I don't think she's ever been named. Can we give her a name? I feel like that's a good idea. What are some of your favorite King Shark facts? What are some of your favorite stories from the comics or animated universe featuring King Shark? Do you ship King Shark and June Moon? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 DC Villains More Powerful Than Darkseid. Nero Rad comments, Amanda's voice is wonderful. Good video. Thank you. I feel like my voice is okay and I appreciate you liking it. Yeah. Allison Smith comments, "Thank you so much for the needed list, Amanda." You are welcome so much. It was actually, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to do it because I was just like, man, who is more powerful than Darkseid? But there's some people. Broken Bridge contemplates, if Perpetua appears in the DCEU, the JLA is going to have one hell of a time dealing with her. 100%, and I feel like that would be a crazy storyline if they decided to do it. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts and feels shouted out in a future list. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you as always to stay happy and stay nerdy, YouTube.